My lover's spiraling, and it's getting scary. The chipped porcelain of the teacup warmed my hands but did nothing for the chill that had settled deep in my bones. Liam used to love this tea, a lavender blend from the farmer's market. Now the untouched cup sat cold beside his untouched breakfast. It started subtly, a restless night here and there. Liam, usually a sound sleeper, would toss and turn, muttering in his sleep. Then came the nightmares. He'd wake up screaming, tangled in the sheets, eyes wide with a terror that didn't seem to belong to this world. He wouldn't talk about them, just brush it off as stress from his music. His band was trying to break through, putting immense pressure on him. I wanted to believe him. I needed to believe him. Our life here in this old Victorian on the edge of Oakhaven was everything I'd ever wanted. Quiet mornings, the smell of pine from the surrounding forest, evenings filled with Liam's music drifting through the house. But the quiet was turning sinister, the music dissonant. The first concrete thing, the thing I couldn't explain away, was the rocking chair. It sat in the corner of our bedroom, untouched for months. One morning I woke up to find it gently swaying as if someone had just gotten up. Liam was asleep beside me, his breathing even and deep. I convinced myself it was the wind, an old house settling, anything but what my gut was screaming at me. Then came the whispers. Liam started hearing them first. Faint, unintelligible voices that seemed to emanate from the walls. He'd clutch his head, his face contorted in pain, begging them to stop. I could never hear them. It's the medication, maybe, I suggested, my voice trembling. He had been on anti-anxiety pills as long as I had known him. He hated taking them, but he knew he needed them to function. He shook his head, his eyes vacant. No, Alex, it's something else. They're in the house. That's when he started seeing things. Shadows in the periphery, fleeting glimpses of figures in the hallway. He described them as tall and gaunt, with eyes like burning coals. He said they were watching him, waiting. I made an appointment with Dr. Reynolds, his therapist. She was a calm, reassuring woman with kind eyes, the kind of person you instantly trusted. She adjusted his medication, suggested relaxation techniques, and assured me that this was a temporary setback. She said these things sometimes happen in times of stress. I hoped she was right, but Liam was getting worse. He was isolating himself, spending hours locked in his music room, composing dark, dissonant pieces that sent shivers down my spine. He stopped eating, stopped sleeping. His eyes were sunken, his skin pale. He looked like a ghost of himself. I started sleeping with a baseball bat beside the bed. One afternoon, desperate for distraction, I went to the local coffee shop. Sarah, the barista, was always friendly and chatty. I found myself confiding in her, telling her about Liam's nightmares, the whispers, the figures. She listened patiently, her brow furrowed with concern. When I finished, she paused, then said, "Oakhaven, it's got a history, you know. Strange things have happened here. My grandma used to tell stories about the old houses on the edge of town. She said some of them are haunted. Haunted. The word hung in the air, heavy and unsettling. I scoffed, trying to dismiss it. Haunted? Come on, Sarah, I don't believe in ghosts. She shrugged. Maybe not. But there's something about this town, something that makes people uneasy. Later that week, while picking up groceries, I ran into Old Man Hemlock. He was a fixture in Oakhaven, a wizened old man with a long white beard and eyes that seemed to see right through you. He lived in a dilapidated shack on the outskirts of town and was rumored to be a bit eccentric, even crazy. He stopped me in the aisle, his grip surprisingly strong. "You live in the old Cartwright place, don't you?" he rasped. I nodded, a knot forming in my stomach. That house, it's got a darkness to it, a hungry darkness. He leaned closer, his breath smelling of mothballs and decay. They say the Cartwrights were cursed. That something wicked took root in that house long ago. I tried to pull away, but his grip tightened. "You be careful, girl," he warned. "Those shadows, they feed on fear. Don't let them get to you. Don't let them get to him." He released me abruptly and shuffled away, leaving me shaken and disturbed. That night, I did some research. I scoured the local library archives, searching for any information about the Cartwright family and the history of our house. What I found chilled me to the bone. There were whispers of strange occurrences, unexplained deaths, and rumors of occult practices. One account described a woman driven to madness, claiming to be tormented by unseen entities. The more I learned, the more I realized that Liam wasn't just losing his mind. Something else was happening. Something darker, something more sinister. I decided to contact Liam's mother. They weren't close, he rarely spoke about her. But I needed to know if there was a family history of mental illness, anything that could explain what was happening. She was hesitant at first, but eventually she agreed to send me his medical records. When they arrived, I pored over them, searching for clues. There was nothing that immediately jumped out, but one entry caught my eye: sleepwalking episodes as a child, accompanied by vivid nightmares and claims of seeing shadow figures. The word sent a jolt of fear through me. This wasn't new. This had been lurking within him for years, waiting to be unleashed. The voices got louder. The figures became clearer. Liam was losing his grip on reality. He started talking to the entities, whispering to them in a language I didn't understand. He said they were his friends, his guides. He said they were going to show him the truth. One night, I woke up to find him standing at the foot of the bed, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. He was holding a knife. "Liam," I whispered, my voice trembling. He didn't respond. He just stared at me, his face contorted in a terrifying grin. "They want you to join us, Alex," he said, his voice raspy and distorted. "They want you to see the truth." I scrambled out of bed, backing away from him. "Liam, put the knife down, please, this isn't you." He lunged at me. I screamed and ran, bolting out of the bedroom and down the stairs. I didn't stop running until I was outside, huddled in the cold night air, dialing 911. The police arrived quickly and took Liam into custody. He was incoherent, raving about the entities and the darkness. They took him to the county hospital where he was sedated and placed under observation. Doctors diagnosed him with acute psychosis, exacerbated by stress and substance abuse. They said he needed long-term treatment, that he might never fully recover. I was devastated. The man I loved was gone, replaced by a shell of a human being consumed by madness. I returned to the house feeling empty and lost. The silence was deafening. The air was thick with dread. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I started seeing things too, shadows in the periphery, fleeting glimpses of figures in the hallway. I heard whispers in the walls, faint and unintelligible. I felt a cold hand on my shoulder when I was alone. I knew then that it wasn't just Liam. The house was infected. The darkness had spread to me. I began searching the house, desperate to find some answers. I tore down walls, ripped up floorboards, and rummaged through the attic, uncovering layers of dust and forgotten memories. In the attic, tucked away in a hidden compartment, I found a leather-bound journal. It was old and brittle, its pages filled with faded ink. It was the diary of Alina Cartwright, the woman who had been driven to madness. As I read her words, I felt a chill crawl down my spine. She described the same experiences that Liam had gone through, the nightmares, the whispers, the figures. She wrote about a growing sense of dread, a feeling of being consumed by a malevolent presence. She wrote about the entity. She called it the Shadow Man. She said it was a creature of pure darkness, drawn to places of pain and suffering. She said it fed on fear and despair, slowly driving its victims to madness. She wrote about a ritual, a way to appease the Shadow Man, to banish it from the house. But the ritual required a sacrifice of innocence. The last entry was a single sentence: "I can hear him coming for me." I slammed the journal shut, my heart pounding in my chest. I had to get out of the house. I had to escape the darkness before it consumed me completely. I packed a bag, threw it in the car, and drove away, leaving everything behind. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I couldn't stay in Oakhaven. As I drove, I glanced in the rearview mirror. In the back seat, sitting silently in the shadows, I saw a tall, gaunt figure with eyes like burning coals. It was watching me, waiting, and then it was not. I gripped the steering wheel, my knuckles white. I wasn't safe. The darkness had followed me. It was always going to follow me. Liam was transferred to a state facility where he remains heavily medicated. Dr. Reynolds visits him regularly. I question her motives. Was she helping or a part of this? I tried to visit him, but I can't. Every time I see his vacant stare, I see the Shadow Man. I look over my shoulder constantly. I changed my name, moved to a different state. I still see it sometimes. In the corner of my eye. A flicker, a shadow. It's getting closer. It's here now.